What's up, SFL Nation, and welcome back to SFL Nights with AJ Schreiker. Thank you so much for joining me today or tonight or whenever you decided to hit that play button or turn on that radio dial. I really do appreciate it, y'all. And we had some great games and some great things coming down the pipeline for the SFL, and I'm going to bring you a little brief overview of all of that tonight. I have my SFLm Week6 review, of course. Was I right? And picks for Week 7. Then I have my 4th and Goal interviews featuring Mr. Rookie Class member Guy Clawson and Mr. Harish Prasad, co-owner of the Carolina Skyhawks, as well as their GM, Mr. Chad Nevels. And then I'm going to have Mr. Michael Percoco for the Vancouver Legion on, just trying to give you that balance of what rookies are expecting from their teams and then what GMs and owners are expecting from rookies that are trying to be drafted. So it's going to be an interesting show, and I hope you sit back, relax, and enjoy. Okay, so had some fantastic games, as I said before, that happened this week. You can definitely see people starting to separate themselves from the pack. Now, I chose the Navigators, the Fuels, the Adams, and the Cavalry to win, so let's just see how well I did. The Annapolis Navigators took on the Madison Lynx, and the Navigators won 52-13. That's one of the ones I was telling you about, kind of lopsided. The Lynx had 233 yards passing, 84 yards rushing, and 317 total yards. Time of possession was 15 minutes and 41 seconds with no mistakes. The Navigators had 275 yards passing, 297 yards rushing. That is amazing. 572 total yards. Time of possession was 28 minutes and 1 second with no mistakes. Player of the game was halfback Bailey Ongasi with 27 attempts, 289 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 7 reception yards. The Tacoma Grizzlies took on the Birmingham Fuel, and the Fuel won 20-10. The Grizzlies had 175 yards passing, 52 yards rushing, and 227 yards total. Time of possession was 19 minutes and 12 seconds with no mistakes. But the Fuel had 222 yards passing, 65 yards rushing, totaling up to 287 yards. Their time of possession was 23 minutes and 50 seconds with 2 turnovers. Player of the game was wide receiver Tucker Warner with 10 receptions for 116 yards, 1 touchdown, and he went 11.6 yards per catch. The Albuquerque Adams took on the San Jose Flight, and the Adams won 20-3. Adams had 185 yards passing, 82 yards rushing, 267 yards total. Time of possession was 22 minutes and 46 seconds with 4 turnovers. Now this game was full of turnovers. You'll see what I mean in a minute. The Flight had 169 yards passing with 33 yards rushing for 202 yards total. Time of possession was 21 minutes and 11 seconds with 6 turnovers. So seems like both defenses are working hard trying to take the ball from each other. But, you know, the Adams wound up taking the win. Player of the game was wide receiver Kyle Fenimore with 5 receptions, 108 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 21.6 yards per catch. And the last game of the week was the Ottawa Cavalry taking on the Salt Lake City Rustlers. And the Rustlers won 34-27. And Ottawa had 194 yards passing, 208 yards rushing, 402 yards total. Time of possession was 21 minutes and 12 seconds with 1 turnover. Salt Lake City Rustlers had 313 yards passing with 16 yards rushing for 329 yards total. Time of possession was 22 minutes and 48 seconds with no mistakes. Player of the game was wide receiver Kensington Ellington. 5 receptions, 163 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 32.6 yards per catch. Kingston, we keep going through this, man. I don't know why. Great games, fantastic wins. Oh, and by the way, I was only wrong about one of those games, so there's a big come up, man. I got the Ottawa Cavalry game wrong, so things are looking up. That's a good thing. Okay, I'm back with my picks for week 7 now. These games will be taking place on our SFL Twitch channel and SFL YouTube channels. As far as the times, those will be unveiled a little bit later on, but more than likely they're going to be around 6:30, as well as 9 and 9:30. But check on the website www.simulationfl.net to keep up with that. On the 20th, though, which is Friday, the Birmingham Fuel will be taking on the Annapolis Navigators, and I am going to go with the Birmingham Fuel on this one. The San Jose Flight will be taking on the Madison Lynx, and I'm going to go with the Madison Lynx. Salt Lake City Rustlers will be taking on the Memphis River Runners, and I will be going with Salt Lake on this one. And last but not least, the Albuquerque Adams will be taking on the Tacoma Grizzlies, and I am going to go with Albuquerque Adams on this one. So just as a quick recap, I'm going with the Fuel, the Lynx, Salt Lake, and the Adams on these games. So let's see how well everything shakes up. We also had some great things happen over the course of this past week with our Season 6 schedule release and our SFL Honors. And if you wanted to get the complete stories of everything, visit our website. But special congratulations goes out to Franchise of the Year winner Jacksonville Kings, MVP winner Reggie Streeter, Offensive Player of the Year Bryant Dynasty, Defensive Player of the Year Tank Bennett, Special Teams Player of the Year Kramer Jackman, Offensive Rookie of the Year Adam Williams, Defensive Rookie of the Year Brody Gulch, Richard Pratchard Commentator of the Year Tim Hackett, Moment of the Year Richard Pratchard touchdown after his passing, Game of the Year Vancouver comeback over ATL in the wild card matchup, SFL Partner of the Year was 11 Sports and For the Fans Television, Coaching Staff of the Year was the Baltimore Vultures, and the Community Ambassador of the Year was Dave Axis this time. So congratulations to all of you for your great wins and your accomplishments. I wish you the best in this upcoming season. And with that, let's move on to our 4th and Goal interviews. Keep it right here. All right, we're back with my 4th and Goal interview. I have Mr. Guy Clawson of the Annapolis Navigators, their tight end. How you doing?
Fantastic. Glad to be on. I'm glad to be on your show, actually.
Oh man, I'm glad to have you too. So it's an honor to have all of the rookies. Actually, anybody that wants to come on this show, I'm honored to have you. I'm really grateful.
Yes, pleasure to meet you. Yes.
All right. So since this is your first time, let's let the people get to know who you are. So, if you wouldn't mind, just give us your name, your age, your hometown, some interesting facts about yourself, and your favorite NFL team.
Yeah, so I'm Guy Clawson. I play tie-in for the Navigators. I am 32 years old. Mm-hmm. I live in Trenton, New Jersey. Mm-hmm. Let's see. My favorite NFL team is the Eagles.
Philadelphia Eagles? Gotcha. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. And I'm not going to discuss how embarrassing they played today. I meant, so.
We don't have to discuss that. Trust me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but anyways, let's so a few fun facts. I graduated from the college of Jersey. Okay. It's just about 10-minute drive from my street to there. I was part of a disability program called CCCS. And it's a program for people with physical or mental disabilities. I was part of the first class in 2006.
Okay.
And I graduated in 2010. As far as I know, there that program is still running to this day. Also, I'm currently working there actually as a janitor.
Okay. Awesome, man. You're doing it. You're doing your thing, man. Really proud of you.
Thanks. Yeah.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome, dear. So tell me, how does it feel to be the tight end of Annapolis Navigators?
It was at first I was kind of nervous when my player first played in week 1. I got along with my teammates and my coaches, and I get pumped up whenever my player catches the ball, and was a very cool experience.
Yes, it is a cool experience. And as I have always told, especially rookies for the past 2 seasons, when I was a rookie, we only had one game to showcase all of our talents. And you guys have like 4 to 5 games to be able to play. Well, I think they were alternating last season. So so it would be like about 4 people or 4 players in that same position would be able to shine, and then they would kind of alternate. So it looks like they're going to be doing 8 games for you guys, which is wonderful. And then your progressions are fantastic. Is there someone helping with you with your progressions, or is the coaches helping?
My coach, Coach King, he made a list of what categories we need to spend points on.
Okay.
And that helped a lot for me and my teammates too. And yeah,
that guidance is important, because if you don't know what you're doing and then you go in and you try to build a player and then you don't get drafted because your player was too big or too small, or you didn't get points in the right area, that could definitely have an effect on you. So that's awesome that you're getting that help. Tell me, would you like to be involved in the league in any other aspect? Like, would you like to write articles, or perhaps maybe do stats or something like that?
Currently at this point right now, I just prefer being a player. But I was thinking of maybe coaching, perhaps. But the problem is I don't have an Xbox.
Okay.
I've been a PlayStation user. So could be kind of hard for me to buy one, and but I do hope eventually I can be a coach at some point.
Absolutely, and I hope that you get that chance too. You have plenty of time to get.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh yes,
yeah, and get the game, all of that kind of stuff. So you'll be good. Tell me, do you want to get drafted as a tight end, or would you like to try any other position that a team needs?
Both yes and yes. Also, yes, I do want to be drafted as a tight end. I don't care which like pick number I get drafted to.
Okay.
But if I can't be drafted, then I would switch to a wide receiver.
Okay. Tight end and wide receiver. Fantastic. Fantastic. I love it. I love it. It was actually fun. I played wide receiver for a little bit, and it was a great time, you know. So
Nice.
yeah. Um how do you handle trash talk and adversity? Like when people are, making fun of your team because you guys aren't doing too well or things like that.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I played a lot of amateur sports leagues
Okay.
when I was younger, and I would get very uptight and upset myself because I'm kind of that I'm a passionate player, and yeah, but I matured, and a loss is a loss. We can get better
Yeah.
at some certain aspects on the offense or defense or special teams.
Mm-hmm.
So I yeah.
Cool. Cool. And I think that's very important to be able to take losses in stride and know that, hey, there's always other games, and
Absolutely. Yep.
whatever you fall short, just make it better the next time. That's it.
Mhm.
So what do you expect from the teams that draft you? So whoever takes you in the draft, what do you expect from them to do for you? Or for you?
Um, mm, um, I'll I would be a team player. Um, I don't expect me to have like out of this world stats every game.
Mhm.
Um, as long as long as long as I can contribute contribute to helping the team win games.
Mhm.
You know. So,
Okay. Fantastic. And I think that you'll be a very, very valuable asset to someone's team. You
yes,
know,
that's right.
and making some great plays out there in the SFLm. So I applaud you for that, dear.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So I know that you are a busy man, and I appreciate your time with me. And of course, you can come back on the show whenever you want to. I would love to have you back. Maybe
Oh
like
yeah. Oh
after
yeah.
the
Sure.
draft, after you get a new home, you can come back and explain how you feel and everything. But
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
okay,
I would love to. I'm back on the show.
beautiful. I want to give you the last word though. So you can either sing a song right now, or you can tell us some poetry, or you can give just a simple shout out to whomever you like. Right now, the floor is yours, dear.
Um. I will tell you this. I cannot sing. Because my voice is used to cheer and yell.
Okay.
uh, uh, Poultry not my thing, but I will give a shout out to my team.
Mhm.
Um, I was very when I first joined this league on Discord. Um, I was thrown into the woods. You know, like I I don't know how to get to know the vets or the know or the rookies
Right.
in my class. When I got put onto when I got put on to the navigators,
Mhm.
my 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 coaches eased me, and they it made me easier get along with my current teammates, and I I consider my teammates my brother figures because I'm the only person in my family without no brothers or sisters.
Okay.
So I'm glad I met them, and I'm glad I'm standing by side with them as we go through the season.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. And like I said, whenever you want to, Joseph, please come back on the show. I'd love to have you on. Thank you for your time, and good luck to you, okay?
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, actually. Take care now.
You too. All right, everybody, welcome back to my Fourth and Goal interview. Tonight's guest, I have the wonderful, fantastic Mr. Harish Prasad and Chad Nevels from the Carolina Skyhawks. How y'all doing tonight?
Pretty good. How about you?
Doing good.
Doing wonderful. Thank you for asking. Thank you for being on the show again, guys. It's been a while, so welcome back.
Thanks for having us.
Anytime?
Yeah.
Anytime. So we do have a few new listeners that are basically getting acquainted with the SFL. And so I would kind of like for y'all to start off by giving us a little bit of information about yourself. So just some interesting facts, your favorite NFL team, and like where you're from, things of that nature. So I'll start with you first, Harish.
Okay, so I'm from Chapel Hill, North Carolina. I'm currently an undergrad student at Elon University. I'm studying biochemistry. I guess an interesting thing about me is I'm about to get my EMT certification, so I'm about to start working for EMS in about 2 months or so. Yeah, I'm actually finishing up the class this week, and my favorite NFL team are the Carolina Panthers.
Okay, well, congratulations on that. You're getting ready to save lives, honey.
I'll try. I'm kidding.
And not a bad NFL team, too. You know, Cam came from there, so I'm not mad at y'all about that. All right, Chad, what about you, dear?
I'm originally from Houston, Texas, live in Arkansas now. A couple of interesting things about me. I play in a National Baseball League during the summer. Just switched jobs and became a yacht broker. And my favorite NFL team has got to be the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, okay.
I forgot you were a Cowboys fan.
Yes, I am.
Oh, well, it's a few of y'all here.
Yeah, there's a few in Carolina.
I guess y'all just can't help it. It's okay. It's all right.
They're good people. I'll accept it.
They are. All right, guys. Well, let's get started with the good stuff. Let's get the rundown on your season 15. Now, you ended up 5-7, almost making it to the playoffs and things like that. So, Harish, I want you to start. Just give us a little overview of the season from the coach's perspective and from the player's perspective.
Really, from an owner's perspective, the way I looked at things is I wanted to see improvement, and yes, I did want to see playoffs. We fell short of that, just barely fell short of that. But the key kind of takeaway that we had this season is that we improved, and we're kind of on this upward trend, starting back from season 13 when we went 2-10. Then last season we went 4-8, and this time 5-7. So we're on a positive trend, and that's kind of what we were looking for. It was one game improvement, but it's still improvement nonetheless. So we're thinking next season is going to be the season we get back to the playoffs.
Okay. And what about Harish, the player?
I'm not very attached to my player, if I'm being honest. In a manner of speaking, I really couldn't care less how good he did, as long as we're winning games, really. I was the number one receiver on the depth chart, but I wasn't the number one on the team, actually. Looking at the stats, Heath McDaniel Jr. actually had he had 950. Yeah, he had 100 more yards than I did, and that's fine with me.
I mean, yeah, I mean that's true. But one thing, you did not get hurt this season. I'm so happy about that. They had a whole Harish watch on Dave Axis and everything. It's crazy.
I've seen that. Yeah.
That's one thing. And you've been with Carolina for a while, from seasons 11 all the way up till now. So
Yep.
you've had 34. Well, actually, season 15 hasn't been added to the website as of right now, but we have you down at 34 touchdowns, over 3,000 yards, reception yards. You had over 200, over almost 300 receptions. How did you build your player in order to be so effective?
Really, I'll be honest, I was one of those people, those in-season transactions that inherited a pretty good build to start with. So the credit for actually putting my build together goes to Sir Chappelle and AJ Francis. Really, my build was already done at that point by the time I got it, so I was just adding and subtracting animations at that point. So a lot of it really comes down to game plans at this point. So this season, as it's been mentioned before, Heath McDaniel took over halfway through the season. And so whenever he took over, that was really when everything started clicking for the offense as a whole. And so, yeah, that's kind of the big thing.
All right. Fantastic. And Chad, what are your thoughts as GM and as free safety?
Well, as the new GM, looking back at the season, yeah, we fell short. But sitting down talking with, Harish, James, and everybody in the front office, I could see the improvement we had. I think next year, this coming season, that we are going to make the playoffs. So it's just been an improvement over time.
Absolutely. As anything worth building is, you're going to have those bumps and bruises. Looking at your stats, looks like you were without the Albuquerque Adams for the SFLm when you first started. And you had like 38 tackles, looks like 5 assists, 2 tackles for loss, 3 pass deflections. But I'm not seeing your free safety stats right now. Do you happen to have them with you?
No, I do not, actually.
No worries. We're all good. I just thought that the website may have been updated, but it's all good. So tell me, what happened with the sudden change in personnel for you guys? I know Rachel, she went over to LA. Now she's an owner. How did you guys respond to her going? And what was up with Sully and that departure and everything?
I'll speak to that. So, yeah, Rochelle got her team, and one of the people we did lose was our tight end, who also just happened to be her husband. So I kind of was ready for that to happen to begin with. Yeah, and so I guess Sully was looking for a bit of a change of scenery as far as we spoke. So I have no issues with the fact that he wanted to go to LA, and I wish him the best of luck there. I think he'll do pretty good things as their defensive coordinator. And then we also had 2 players retire, Zane Doty and Forrest Stark, and they had more real life obligations to attend to. I think Forrest is just going into college themselves, and I can personally see why this would probably take a backseat for him.
Yeah.
And Doty just had a new baby, and I think he'd like to focus on his family.
Awesome. If you talk to Zodi, tell him I said. Well, you talk to Doty, tell him I said hi and congratulations for me.
Will do.
All right, Chad. Did you want to add anything to that, or?
No, I mean, Harish pretty much covered it all. The loss of each one of those, it's a hard loss to take, but, we're going to fill those slots the best we can and just keep on moving.
Do you have any ideas of whom you'd like to? I mean, I know you can't really give me names because we're not trying to avoid nobody contracts around here, but I was wondering, do y'all have anybody in mind as of right now to be able to replace them?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
All right.
People will see in due time.
All right, cool. So let's move on to rookies. Now, for the rookies that are listening and they're trying to get to know GMs and owners, and Chad, first off, I want to thank you for putting this idea out there for us to be able to have conversations with each other so that rookies can see basically who's going to be drafting them, because we've always been focused on them and trying to pick them to make sure they fit our locker room and things like that. But it's interesting for them to be able to see us in this light and hear our stories and how we handle things too. So thank you for that.
And not a problem, Ashley.
Yeah. So what do you guys describe the Carolina Skyhawks locker room?
I'll let you take this one, Chad.
You really want to start with it? It's called Tristan. I mean, let's just be honest. No, it's a good group of guys. I mean, we got James, and like I said, we got Tristan, Hugh, Levant. There's so many good people in that locker room. It's really kind of like a family outside of my family. So I talk to a few of them probably every day. So
That's good. Love family-oriented vibe. Harish, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I mean, it's like Chad said, it's very much a family, and yeah, we did have a few turnovers in personnel this year, and that's fine. That retirings happen, and then expansion coming from our team. That those kind of things are expected. But the important thing is that the foundation of the team, the main core, as in Levant, we kept Heath around, Sam Avalis stuck around, Logan Jack especially. He's definitely a very important guy to remember. That solid core of the team, they through the last, probably the toughest of times, the last few seasons, is when they stick through that, you've got your family with you. And yeah, that's pretty much.
That's good, man. That's good to be able to retain a core few, that can kind of keep that Carolina tradition going, and when you have those newbies that arrive, they can kind of just bring them in too. Because I will say, you guys are one of the most active locker rooms I see, especially in chat. General chat, I mean, I'll go in there some nights and it's all red. I'm like, dude. Did I step into the Carolina's locker room or something? But yeah, it's pretty cool. So tell me, what is the philosophy, the overall philosophy of the Skyhawks? Like coaching philosophy, if you want to share, owner's philosophy, things of that nature.
As far as coaching philosophy, we're really still establishing that kind of thing. As like I mentioned before, Heath stepped in the middle of last season, and he took over my playbook, and so Heath is one of the more established coaches in the league. He was the head coach in New Orleans in season 12. I think that was when he last coached, when they went 8-4, I think it was, with Logan Jack was actually on that team too. He is one of a really good offensive minds, and so really bringing what made that New Orleans offense special, and then bringing out the best of our players like Logan and my player and his player. That's kind of the big thing with the offense, and really I'm still trying to find my footing as a defensive coordinator in the league, so I'm trying out new things this offseason. So we'll see where it goes.
Okay. Chad, did you want to add to that?
I mean, from a GM's point, I'm here, as far as a GM's philosophy, I'm here to help Harish and James any way I possibly can, whatever they need. I mean, I've spent the last couple of weeks in off season searching players, talking to Harish and James on a daily basis about that. I'm still trying to fill the shoes, that Ray left, and it's some big shoes to fill right now. So I'm still trying to get used to it.
Oh yeah, you got it, man. Don't worry. Got it. You got it. So what type of rookies would you like, or personalities would you like to add to Carolina's locker room? Like when you're doing your interviews with them, what exactly are you guys looking for?
Chad, you want to go ahead?
Rookie wise, we kind of need somebody that is going to just kind of step into our locker room and be able to adapt to the way we are. Because, like you said, you go in the general chat on certain nights, we're just in there having fun, and we kind of want somebody that can have fun and roll with the punches that comes with the league. Because you're going to have times to where you lose a game, and really don't want somebody that's just going to like badmouth the team or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes, I do. It doesn't make it any better when you do that, especially if it's your own team. Like, dude.
Yeah, because you see that a lot. You see that a lot, actually. And I know last year in the SFLm, that was a problem with a lot of people. Is that happened in general chat there, and it just kind of it turns teams away when rookies do that. So that's just one thing they need to remember. Keep your head up. This is a game, even though there are those of us that put a lot of hours into it. It's still a game, and things are going to happen, and you just got to roll with it.
Very true. And I have to agree with you guys on the hours. Harish, how many hours would you say you actually spend during the season simming games, putting together the playbook, and all of that?
Oh man, I couldn't even begin to tell you. I'm sure the work ethic Eddie has.
Yeah.
The amount of hours he spends, even after game plans are turned in, that man is still simming. It's crazy amount of hours.
I mean, because it really surprised me when Jeremy Vega from Denver was telling me that, he's got it down to like about 5 hours, Like what? Everybody else?
We're not quite there yet.
I want to know where he gets the 5 hours from, because I mean, scouting, that's 2 or 3 games a week I sit there and watch.
I worked that man to death last season on scouting.
But yeah, it's just it has always kind of bothered me when people kind of badmouth teams that weren't doing too well, because especially if you are a brand new team and you're trying to get your playbooks to mesh together with the players that you have and things like that, or if you're replacing people and you have to try to play with the schematics of things and making sure that that's going to fit, I don't think that people really understand all what goes into it. Otherwise, they would not have such bad things to say when you have like a 1-11 season or 2-10.
Yeah, I've been there. I've kind of gotten to a point where I can take it. It's whatever. Talk whatever you want, but just when we're on top, see if you keep that same energy. That's all.
There you go. So that's pretty much how you handle the adversity of that. Then is to just, I'm like, okay, I hear you. I'm still gonna do what I'm gonna do, and then when
I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. If you're talking trash in game chats, so yeah, I'll get aggravated sometimes. It's annoying to see that stuff in chat while you're losing a game, but in the end, you can say whatever you want.
So have you thought about doing anything else? Either you, Harish, or Chad, like being involved with the broadcast team or things like that, or even, you're kind of busy, Harish, but like
I've been playing with the idea of broadcasting. It's just probably not going to be possible until after I graduate, which is in the spring.
Right. Well, hey, it's only a few months away.
Yeah.
Hey, man. That'll be awesome. Chad,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I broadcast in the minors right now, and I'll talk to Marcus about helping him and Ray with that stuff during the week that they need done. So we'll see where that goes.
Oh man, that'd be awesome, because again, Ray was doing her thing. Well, Ray and Tom were both doing their thing with DDP and helping that out. So that is a big task to fill. Those are big shoes to fill. But I think that you have what it takes, Chad. Seems like you're just filling shoes all over the place, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I make the time to do it just because I love doing it. So,
Okay, cool. So what is your advice to the rookies that are out there? And even what is some advice to some people that want to go into coaching and perhaps ownership?
So I'll start with coaching first.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing I would say is just be patient. You really just have to be patient. You have to be willing to learn, because you're going to make mistakes and you're going to make a lot of them. And you're probably going to be feeling down on yourselves. I still do that every week. When we lose a game, I feel like I let the team down, and they tell me it's not the case, but it's still, I can't help but feel that way. I'm very hard on myself when it comes to these kind of things. Not just in the SFL, in life too. So it's sometimes hard not to be discouraged, but you really just have to keep pushing through it. You have to keep learning. Every game is a new learning experience, and you just have to take it as such. And then eventually you'll get there.
Exactly. What about for rookies?
For rookies, in terms of getting drafted to a team,
In terms of getting drafted to a team and when they're working on their builds.
it's getting drafted, I would say the biggest thing is just try to be active when you can. And I understand not everybody has all the time in the world. I definitely understand that. But just try to be active, just be a positive influence on your minor league team in general chats and game chats whenever you can. Definitely reach out to owners and just have conversation. With the rookies I talk to, you can ask Chad about this. I mean, I always end up having a lot of personal conversations with people, and that I make connections with those rookies, and that's how I know who I want to draft. I definitely felt that connection with Chad when I spoke with him on the phone last season. So just basically it's just positivity is a big thing. And as far as their builds, the first things to focus on, I would say, were just those primary attributes. And then whenever you get good enough into those primary attributes, definitely focus on consistency.
Yes. Oh my God. Nothing like just seeing somebody that added all this fancy animations and you have like 60% consistency. Well, you messed up.
Yep.
All right. So Chad, what is your advice to rookies? And what is your advice to anybody that is attempting to be a GM?
oh wow. Well, as far from me coming from literally a rookie in this league, getting drafted wise, like Harish said, just be active when you can in general. Reach out to the GMs, the owners. If you reach out to them and they don't respond right back, just don't take it personal. Don't think that they're trying to ignore you. Like somebody like me, when I'm at work, if you message me, it'll probably be that night before I get back to you just because how busy I am. And on draft night, just realize, it's going to be a long ride. You just sit there, enjoy it, because I was drafted in the 5th round, so I sat there every night and watched name by name by name by name get called. And then Harish called me. We talked. Apparently, I had like the most uneventful draft conversation with the owners. So as far as being a GM, if that's what you want to do, just help the team any way you can. Prove, that that's a position you want. Just show what you can do, basically. Help in any way possible. Because, I went from being a non-contract player in season 14 at St. Louis to playing for the Adams to coming to Carolina as a scout. Was offered the position of GM, took that. I also am the defensive coordinator for Salt Lake on a team that's full of, really a lot of us that hadn't coached in the league. We're off Napoli. We got Mike Twin Screw. So just kind of bide your time. If that's what you want to do, things will come.
Great advice, gentlemen. Thank you so much for being on the show. And listen, if you guys could round up a few more Carolina Skyhawks, y'all could actually come on and we can have a whole team podcast if y'all want to. I'm going to be starting those probably towards the beginning of the season. So I'd love to have y'all on again.
Yeah, definitely try to.
Okay.
Definitely.
Cool. We would got everyone signed up and everything, and we don't have to, risk voiding contracts and all mentioning stuff you're not supposed to say.
This has probably been the most stressful time of my GM career, though, is going through all this and waiting for the signing period.
Yes, it is. And then everything just seemed to be happening. I guess it's happening in the manner that it's supposed to as far as time. But I guess I've just been so anxious to get started with next season and drafting and everything. I just am like, oh my God, when are we going to get the cap? Oh my God, when are we going to get all this? So, but I'm excited to see divisions. What do y'all think about your divisions before I let you go?
Oh man.
That was one.
So we get the Florida Storm, the former 3-time champs. We get to face them for the first time. I know me and Mighty have been talking about it for seasons. Probably him and James even longer than that. So I'm excited to play them for the first time. We definitely welcome the challenge for the whole division, actually, because our games with Charleston, they're always close. We did win last time. It was really close. So we play them twice, and then the Jacksonville Kings, our good old friends down there in Florida. We'll get to see them again. We definitely will have a chip on our shoulders for that one after the way they beat us last season. It was one of those games. So we're definitely we're gonna step up to the challenge. We're not going to people write us off in this division, but we'll be there.
It's not going to be an easy division by any means.
I don't think any of them are really.
No, definitely not.
I'm not no weak.
Oh, Arizona's is brutal too.
Listen, I said I was going to have Cam on. He's got some explaining to do.
Poor Eddie.
When those divisions were unveiled, I could just only imagine Eddie's reaction. If he was awake, of course.
I'm probably going to have him on pretty soon, and I'm going to ask him that question. Yeah, he's going to get that same reaction that he gave us that night. But thank y'all so much for being on the show, and of course, I cannot let you go without giving y'all the last word. So that can be a song, that can be a poem, or that can be a simple shout-out. Right now, Chad, the floor is yours.
I just want to give a shout-out, again, to my wife for letting me do this, and my son who is in the league. Best of luck to him with things to come there. And I just want to give a shout out to my team, the Skyhawks.
All right, phenomenal. And what about you, Harish?
Yeah, definitely a big shout out to the Sky Gang. Love those guys. Love those guys. Don't know where I would be without them. Yeah, just looking forward to season 16. We're definitely going to be better. So we'll see you guys in season 16.
AJ, I forgot one shout out, and it hurts me that I forgot this, to the rookies.
Go ahead.
You guys keep your head up, and especially you boys in Salt Lake. I love all you guys. Keep your heads up as things go along.
Oh, phenomenal, man. Thanks, guys. See y'all soon.
Take care,
Thanks for having us.
All right, you too. Anytime. Bye. All right, everybody, and welcome back to my Fourth and Goal interviews, GM and Owners edition. I do have with me Mr. Michael Percoco, GM of the Vancouver Legion, also their defensive end too. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm glad to be back. It's been a long time.
Yes, it has. Whose fault is that?
Andy's fault.
We always blame Andy. Always.
So possessive.
Well, how have you been, man? How have you been?
I've been good. in my house, we're transitioning. We're getting ready for a fourth child, so it's crazy. There's just throwing stuff all over the place. We're moving people from bedroom to bedroom. That's like, it looks completely like, it looks like a mess behind me. But
that's the neatest mess I've ever seen in my life. I don't know what you're talking about.
it's what my wife makes me do. It's a mess. So yeah, so it's been good. So
Awesome. I don't see Andy's picture in the background. Just can't get away from him at all. Huh?
Nope, I got to keep it there. So many people give me crap for it. It's got to stay there forever. I'm probably going to have a wallet size soon, just in case there's ever a convention.
Just to make sure you have it everywhere you go.
Yeah.
And I also see Richard Patrick's jersey in the background too.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, it was a good look jersey too. It when that came, we went on a pretty good hot streak there for a while, so it was a nice thing to have around.
Clearly, because you guys were absolutely fantastic this year.
Yeah, it was a rough season, not just because of Rich, but even we had you'll notice this year, all the schedules came out, and there's a stretch of teams who have just a whole bunch of away games, and that's what we had this season. It was our away games were, at one point we had Sioux Falls and Baltimore and Louisiana, it was those, they were just all lumped together, and I was just it was exhausting.
Yeah, but you overcame it though. I mean,
yeah.
Unfortunately, y'all beat the Scorpions by 40 points. The heck that happened, but
oh no.
But it was a few games that you guys have won by a significantly large margin. So,
yeah.
What do you think? What do you think was the cause of that? Was it your scoutings? What were your scouts? Was it Andy doing a whole new playbook? What was this?
No, I mean, Andy has his ways about his playbook. He likes to test a certain amount of plays for the offense at a time. Mm-hmm. He spends a couple days on defense. We do have two really good scouts, James Walters and Coverson. Two really just great guys. And we're really lucky to have them because their reports are good. I can't even do reports like that because I'm bipolar, and I try to do them, and God, it kills me. I'm trying to help Madison out, and I'm trying to do scouting reports, and it takes me 2 hours to do a quarter, and I'm just my brain can't handle this. I don't know how guys do this, So
I think when you practice though, you find different ways to kind of make whatever you're doing a little bit better or a little bit.
I got it down pretty good.
Complicated. Yeah, of course you do.
I got it down pretty good. It ain't working. It ain't working.
All right. So for those that don't know about you, because we do have radio listeners now, give us just a little bit of a brief overview about you. So just interesting facts about Mr. Percoco, and let's see, your favorite NFL team and your hometown.
Maybe I'll say Green Bay.
Oh God.
No, that's not. Actually, we're not big Packers fans in this house. Actually, we don't really mind anybody because we're Detroit Lions fans, and who live in New York. So it goes well. If we feel like watching baseball, we're Mets fans, and then we go to the Lions. So we just like punishment.
Clearly.
Yeah. So, but yeah. Besides that, I live in New York. As I said, I got 4 kids. Wide range, one in the belly that's due in the middle of December, which they wanted to do a C-section around the draft, and I was like,
you can't hold off a little bit. Come on,
you gotta move that up a week, okay? All right, this is not gonna work. All right, she's not expected to be on camera or anything, but I got things to do. And then my oldest is 16 now. So.
Oh man.
Yeah, which how many? You know what? It's something we never talked about. Is about your kids. How many do you have?
I have 2. I have a 4-year-old boy that will be turning 5 in January, and I have a brand new 13-year-old that just turned.
13-year-old girl?
Yes, 13-year-old girl.
Yes,
Clara and Saeed.
Yes, awesome.
Oh boy, and it is definitely 2. It's 2 different worlds, a boy and a girl, anyway. But then when they're different ages, 13, that's the whole another thing.
Yeah.
And then he still has all this energy. I'm trying to figure out where's it coming from. I'm surprised I still have all of this.
It looks good.
Thank you.
You work it well.
I am trying. I'm trying.
You know, you got your kids at home. You got your kids in the SFL. It's just amazing how you handle all of them.
All right.
A couple hundred kids you got there.
I know. Well, I'm the mother of the league apparently, so I have to make sure everybody's good. But tell me, how did it feel when you were selected to be a GM and you were just like you just started the team? This is your rookie season, and then they saw so much in you.
It was, I kind of consider GM an honorary spot because it's more of my relationship with Andy is we both it's almost like a 50-50. So basically like how the season go and how like the weeks go is when the scouting goes on from our other guys, and what I do is I look back at teams' defenses. So like let's say, when we faced you, like I went back and looked at your games and thought of, okay, who did they face that was similar to us? And I would reconstruct your defense. So this way, when Andy did finalize his offense, he would play it against it. And I would always keep a second option out there of what I think I could do with your defense to make us lose. And that's it. If he's not having a bad week because of me using somebody else's defense, then I'm not doing my job.
Interesting.
And that's like a hard thing because it's not like I'm not an OC, I'm not a DC, and so we're like, it was kind of just like, okay, let's be GM. You talk to people, I talk to people, because we both have different relationships around the league.
Mm-hmm.
The people that I was drafted with last year is a very large class, and even the 1 year before that, I had a relationship with those guys too, because a lot of those guys were like coaches in the minors. So those 2 seasons were people that I really connect with. And then Andy has, being somebody just being a part of the league, and in the broadcast booth, he has a whole different slot of people that he's talked to and gone to conventions with. So, so it's kind of like, okay, I'll do this, you do this, and we'll talk about it, and we'll find out what works best. So
got it. And clearly, you had the chemistry, and you're doing your thing. So with this new rookie draft, I mean the new rookies and everything draft coming up, what is Vancouver looking for in a draftee?
Okay, so here's one of the first things. So like my wife is a tight end, right? Mm-hmm. And it's when I talk to you or you talk to a GM, if you know somebody in the league, say it first. It's one of the first things you should say. So if you have a boyfriend or girlfriend or your friends are in the league, just say it. Be upfront, because there's some people who, as a rookie, when you draft them, you want somebody who wants to belong on a team and stay there. And there's also people who have relationships, but they don't want to necessarily go play with them. They want to play against them. And that's very important to GMs and owners to know that when you're coming here, it's because you want to be a part of the team and the club and the family, and you like what you see. Then I'm not going to lose you in 2 years because you're involved with somebody,
right?
Which I don't mind. That's perfectly fine. But if I'm going to be honest with you, just be honest with me. Yeah. So that's a big thing and right away, like if that comes to it and I find out and I talk to you, I know that you might not have told me everything and you weren't honest, and honesty is a big thing. So that's something that I'm looking for in a draftee. But really, Vancouver is a very kind of expect Arizona in a way where it's just a very cool temperate locker room for a lot of it's a family. And we're not on top of each other all the time in regards to, oh, this guy should be doing this and this guy should be doing this. It's kind of like just do what you want to do and do what you need to do, and we'll work together. That's
and if you need help, ask.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
Okay.
So we don't put pressure on people. If you want to do something, just let us know. So.
Yeah, I mean, and I know Andy's really good for guiding people in the right direction. I mean,
crazy.
Look at Charles.
Yep.
On team.
Like, I think I didn't start doing anything until like a week 2 or 3. It was more towards when we played the Glory that I got more involved. And he taught me everything within like 2 to 3 weeks. It was nuts. Like I couldn't believe. And a lot of guys hold everything they have like near and dear to their heart and lock it in a vault at night before they go to sleep. And no, he wants to teach, and that's why he's a weirdo, yeah, but he's a good guy underneath. So
I think we all are to a certain extent, you know.
yeah, well, the circumstances for the last year or two have drove us a little all crazy. So
yeah, very much so. Now I'm looking at your stats, and
I don't have stats.
well.
What did you? I got like 2, 3 sacks. I don't even know. I didn't even look at my stats.
Sacks? You have
look
3
at that.
17 tackles, 9 assists, 8 tackles for loss. So I mean, you were doing your thing.
Yeah, that's the. But you know, and we had. I don't know if I mentioned to it before we came on, but there's some people in the league like you and Eddie and just a whole bunch of people who like to help people, and that's really our purpose in the league. Is we like making sure other people are having a good time, and we try to just make them smile as much as we can. And so like I'm even thinking of going offensive line for next year, because I don't care about the stats. I want my guys to win, and I want my guys to have fun, and girls.
Exactly. Make sure you...
I know you're out there, Ashley Rose. So
speaking of which, I did see her pop in. The Ashley Rose Finch was one of the first women, I believe, to ever join the league.
Yeah.
And I know she's been quite busy lately, but when you do talk to her, tell her I would love to have her on the show. Would love to get to know the first woman of the league, you know, just to kind of gauge her perspective as from when she first started all the way until now. You know, she's been in here for a long time as well.
Yeah.
But
and somehow she now dates Pepper, so I don't even know how that works out.
Right?
I know. I think we just drove her crazy.
Well, it works. Listen,
yeah.
Loves them. So tell me, what do you think you guys are planning to change? Or are you going to change anything as far as your playbooks go? Because you're very effective this season. Do you think that you guys are going to try to change things up dramatically, or maybe just a little bit with your playbooks or with personnel?
Oh, every week is a fight between me and Andy and I.
I believe that.
There are certain sets or passes that he likes to run that are ancient, you know, ingrained in the time of the SFL, and it's a different league out there than it was years ago, but he will still run them 4 and 5 wide sets. There may be change. I think it really depends too if you know, we get roster expansion. As of this recording, I know we just got the cap, but
right.
That's one of the things is if you know, if we do expand by 1 or 2 slots, you know, I would love to get like a fullback in there just to it's something we use a lot, but we use a generic, you know, based off of our space, and that's something I'd really love to put in there just to mix things around.
Right, shake things up.
Not a kicker though. Sorry, kickers. And he will not change his mind about the kickers.
Kickers are people too, Andy.
I know. Just not if they take up cap space.
Okay, I get that. But then, if you need them, you know, you got it's the last moment of the game, and you guys are tied, and you have your kicker that's going for like a 50-yarder.
Yeah, when your drive stalls on like the 35 or 40-yard line because you have a generic kicker, and the game's just like, no, we're not doing it. We're not going to bring them in. And yeah,
don't even ask.
Yeah. So.
All right, and a couple more questions for you. What is the philosophy of the Vancouver Legion? Just for the rookies out there that are looking for a place to go, what are your philosophies?
It's a good question to like shoot me ahead of time so I have something backed up like a
Oops. Well, I mean, hey, take your time, man. Take your time. Just think
Our
about
philosophy. I mean, everyone has their. Certain people have like ideas about Andy, and it's funny. But in general, our locker room is just. It's really about treating not only your teammates, treating others in the league with respect, and realizing that those avatars out there are also people, and that's something that I, for one, really push. And you can tell in our locker room that the other guys push is when people talk in certain ways about other players in the league. They get really upset, and they should be. Internet bullying is just not something that real or fake is not something that we stand for in Vancouver, and that's really it. It could be all the Canadians. They're just really wholesome, nice people. But no, it's a big thing just around the world in general, and something in the SFL that we need to make sure is not there. I know people love to trash talk, but there should be an extent to it. Never put another person or another team down, and always respect the people that you play against.
I agree. And if I ever, if I'm ever in chat and I ever see something like that, I'm quick to call it out. And some people want to know, hey, Ashley, why do you care so much? Because this is a community. If I want to have bad words thrown at me, or if I want to be in fisticuffs or anything like that, I can just go outside my door. But when I'm here, I just want to be able to relax and get along with everybody, And I understand that you can't get along with everybody, but you need to respect the people that are here and the jobs that people have. Because if you've never been a coach, if you've never touched a playbook, I don't think that you really have the right to rag on anybody's team, because you don't know what that person is going through. You don't know what that coach is going through. Over 1,400 over 1,400 different play. Actually, it's more than that you have to try to fit into your playbook and see which one works, and you have to change it out every week. Man, that's a lot.
And it's kind of hard to see, but there's screens over here, like 3 screens that are back there. Those 3 Xboxes 360s back there are just for simming different defensive looks, and also testing animations for this upcoming season. That we have the salary, just testing different stats and seeing progression throughout the year. And that's not even the one that I have hooked up to this computer here, which is also for my main game planning. So it's a lot. It is a lot of work, and that's scouting and any series of coaches and GMs. GMs are people too. Except for Dave. I love you, Dave.
You're nuts.
It's a lot of work. It is.
It is, especially if you take your job seriously and you really care about what you're doing. If you really care about your team, if you really care about the league, there are certain things you're going to put yourself out there. You're going to have those sleepless nights when you're trying to make sure that everything is in order for your team and the people that you care about. So,
because you just want them to have a good time.
Yes.
And that was one of the things that, talking about philosophy that I found in Vancouver was, Andy put a lot on himself, and that's kind of why I picked it up too, because with the passing of Rich, Andy wants to win, but not for himself or his locker room. It's not for him to brag or anything like that. He tries to wear a lot of hats, and it's for the enjoyment of the league. And there's a lot of coaches and owners and scouts out there who need to be cut a little slack, because it's not easy to do what they do, and they're doing it for you. So
I think we should probably do some more of these, these type of podcasts, to where people can actually get a really good understanding as to what, we all go through, because we decided to do this, and we're putting ourselves out there, and I understand. I really do. And I do see him wear a lot of hats. Andy he has a lot going on, and still able to maintain a team that is doing a fantastic job. That's,
Yeah,
you know,
he has his moments. I know.
yes,
And the
yes,
thing
he
is,
does. But
I think he's like Andy's like 25, and someone some people in that age when they're just locked up and in quarantine for this long, it's gonna have some sort of emotional things with them, especially with someone like me yelling at them all day long and making fun of them. So
well, Coco, stop it. Okay, stop yelling at him.
someone's got to keep him in line.
Okay, well, y'all work that out, Mr. Mustard Pizza.
Locker room thing.
I'm sorry.
It's a locker room thing. Killian's gonna kill me.
Well, he knows I know.
Oh, does he? Good. I love PK. He's a good locker room guy. Him and Redford.
Well, I was wondering, is there, before I let you go, is there any advice that you want to give to the upcoming rookies that are looking for homes?
There's multiple ways you can go about it. You can either be active in chat, show your weeks and where you're weak and what your strengths are. But you can also go about it where, hey, listen, you can roll the dice and talk to 2 to 3 teams. It's really up to you. Don't badger people. That doesn't go so well.
No.
But if there are 2 or 3 teams out there and you hone in on them and you talk to them, that's perfectly fine. It may not land your way, and it may. I rolled the dice and I got lucky. I had two great teams who I was talking to come the draft last year. So you don't have to have a lot of activity in chat or make paintings or render jerseys. It's up to you the role you want to take. To just talk to GMs and owners and reach out to them. And we all love stats, but don't focus on stats. It's about people as a community first, and then you go from stats from there. So
okay,
yeah.
How do you like your division?
Like a lot better than Arizona's.
Listen. I don't know what, Cam, if you're looking at this, we have to talk, brother. I'm gonna have to have you back on.
No, I got a lot of respect for Optimus, and then Optimus has Jacob too. I've worked with Jacob a long time.
Yeah.
Tom and Ray do a lot. We do a lot of leagues together, you and I, and we're in leagues with them outside of the SFL. And they're good people, great people, and I know that they're going to put together a great team. And Portland now is going into their 2nd year, and eventually Art will come to me. He will join me by my side, but he's a smart man, and I know he is him, Nelson, and everyone else there. They're going to get it going in the right way. So we'll see what they do this season, but if it's not this season, it'll be their 3rd season when everybody finally starts growing into their positions on that team. So, but the teams in our division brought a lot of good people. They're not starting out with rookies. That's what I was trying to tell Lauren. Is like, man, it's with the with the Lycan, they have people who are gold. They have the players that they need. It's just how those coaching staffs work. So
very true. Because you can have gold players all day, but if you don't know how to use them, it's going to be interesting. I'm really excited about it.
I am.
Hopefully, we won't have so many teams sitting at 5 and 6.
Listen, I would like to say otherwise, but for someone who stares at hundreds of games a week, there's home and away is a thing. It's just and it is what it is. So.
True.
But that's a whole other 5-hour conversation.
Yes, and we will have to have that at some other time.
Anyone out there in the league, if you ever have any questions in regards to animations or coaching, I'm completely open. I've taught people in the middle of the season until I had to play them, and then I stopped, and then I taught them again. But yeah, no, I'm always open to talking about plays and signatures and stuff like that. So animation.
And that's going to be one of the things that sets you apart from the rest. So thank you so much, Mike, for being on the show. Please come back whenever you want to. Maybe you can bring the whole family. You know, I'm known to have families and dogs and birds and cats, all kind of stuff. I saw your little cat over there in the corner.
Oh,
he was over there earlier. So,
I used to have my own space, and now I live with cats in the basement.
Nothing wrong with that. You know, they have attitude sometimes, but other than that, nothing wrong with it.
They do. But, yeah, I mean, I would have Lauren on, and I think, but you know, she's like a month away from popping, and she said to me, she was, I'm not going to look good. So, I guess I don't know why that matters.
Tell Lauren that she is welcome to come on this show, and her face is going to be, if she don't want to show the baby bump, so just the face is to be fine. But I would love to see her.
You and me both. But it's not gonna happen. I don't know. We'll see.
All right. Well, I'm not going to let you go without giving you the last word. So that can be a shout out, that can be a song, or that can be a poem. But right now, the floor is yours.
You know, I know this is coming too, and I should have prepared for it. I was like, oh, but I thought you were gonna want to sing with me or something, especially since I will. That you broke out. Now you know. I see your records on the corners now. That's beautiful, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
But I'll do a duet with you. What you want to sing?
No, it's okay. We won't do a duet this time. I'll get one ready for next time. I'll prepare. I just want everyone out there, stay safe, stay healthy, and Vancouver, I love y'all.
I should have known you was going there. No, that was awesome. That was awesome. I'm sure Eddie will get a kick out of that.
Yeah, and tip 20% so Eddie gets his miles.
Yeah. Lord knows he need them.
I love that, man. All right. Yeah.
All right, man. Thank you so much for being here, Mike. Come back whenever you want to. All you have to do is just DM me. Hey, I got something I want to talk about. You got it.
I'm sure we won't be busy. We'll find some time. Yeah.
Right? The way this COVID situation is happening.
Well,
You're right about that.
Yeah. Can't wait to be home with the kids again.
Oh, all 4 of them. No wonder you're here. You need an escape.
I'm gonna need a bed back there. Is actually what I'm gonna throw. I'm gonna throw all that. Sorry, can't sim anymore. I need a bed.
Listen, just go ahead and get one of them futons.
Yeah.
Put it in the back and you're good to go. Man cave instantly.
With some cats. Yeah.
Okay. All right, man. You have a good one.
All right, love you.
Love you
Take
too.
Care.
Bye.
All right, and that is it. Thank you so much for joining me today or tonight or whenever you decided to put on this podcast. I really appreciate it. Special thanks goes out to Mr. Harish Prasad and Mr. Guy Clawson, Mr. Chad Nevels, and Mr. Michael Percoco for being on the show. Great talking to you guys, and of course, come back whenever you want to. If you are interested in being on the show, please don't hesitate to DM me. My door is always open for anybody, and I'm looking forward to bringing you another great podcast next week. But until then, y'all, stay safe, treat each other well. Striker out.